That's the title of today's notes. How to know yourself. Yeah, yourself. Now, before you scroll, before you click away, let me tell you something strange. Most people live their whole life without ever meeting themselves. They meet teachers, they meet bosses, they meet expectations, but not themselves. So here's the hook. Ready? If you don't know yourself, you will always be confused about your decisions, and confusion is expensive. Okay, let's begin. Psychology has a word for this: self-awareness. Sounds fancy, but it's simple. Self-awareness means knowing why you do what you do. Not what you say, not what you post, but what you actually do when nobody's watching. Now, let me give you a working definition. Real simple. Knowing yourself means you can predict yourself. You know how you'll react under pressure, under praise, under rejection. Most people can't. They say, I don't know why I did that. That sentence alone tells you everything. So let's talk structure. I've got 3 core ideas from psychology that actually work. Number 1, you are not your thoughts. That alone is worth rewinding. Psychology shows you produce thousands of thoughts every day. Most of them are recycled from yesterday, random, automatic, uninvited. Here's the mistake. People assume if I think it, it must be me. No, that's like saying every email in your inbox was written by you. Some thoughts are spam. Knowing yourself starts when you learn to observe your thoughts instead of obeying them. Psychologists call this metacognition. Big word, simple idea. Think about your thinking. When anger shows up, don't say, I am angry. Say, I notice anger. That tiny shift creates distance, and distance creates control. If you miss this step, you'll always confuse your impulses with your identity. Okay, that's number 1. Here's number 2. Your behavior reveals you. Not your intentions, not your explanations. Behavior. Psychology is brutal about this. It says, if you want to know who you are, look at what you do repeatedly. Not occasionally, repeatedly. People say, I value health, but never sleep. I value honesty, but avoid hard conversations. Good intentions don't define you. Patterns do. So here's a test. No judgment, just data. Ask yourself, where does my time go? Where does my money go? Who do I keep around? Those 3 things will tell you more about yourself than any personality test. Most people avoid this step because it's uncomfortable, but discomfort is the tuition fee for self-knowledge. All right, number 3. Your emotions are signals. Not enemies, not weaknesses, signals. Psychology says emotions exist to give information. Fear says, pay attention. Anger says, a boundary was crossed. Sadness says, something mattered. But most people either suppress emotions or drown in them. Both are mistakes. Knowing yourself means you ask, what is this emotion trying to tell me? Not, how do I get rid of it? Big difference. If anxiety shows up, don't panic. Investigate. What am I avoiding? What feels uncertain? Emotions are messengers. Ignore them and they shout. Listen and they whisper. Now, let's shift gears, because knowing yourself isn't just internal, it's social too. Here's something psychology found that people hate hearing. You don't fully see yourself. Other people see parts of you that you can't. This is called the Johari window. It shows you have blind spots, traits, habits, tones that are obvious to everyone else. That's why feedback hurts. But here's the trick. Don't ask, do you like me? That's useless. Ask, when do I seem at my best? When do I shut down? Patterns again. If multiple people say the same thing, that's not coincidence. That's data. All right, now let's talk identity. Most people say, this is just how I am. Psychology calls that a fixed mindset, and it's dangerous. Because once you label yourself, you stop observing yourself. I'm just not disciplined. I'm bad at relationships. Those aren't truths. They're habits wearing name tags. Knowing yourself means you separate who you are from what you've practiced. That's freeing. Now, let me give you a simple daily exercise. Psychologists love this one. At the end of the day, ask 3 questions. What energized me today? What drained me today? What did I avoid today? Do this for 30 days. You'll see patterns you can't unsee. Energy reveals alignment, avoidance reveals fear, and both reveal you. Now, let's zoom out. Why does all this matter? Because if you don't know yourself, you borrow identities. You chase goals that aren't yours. You live reactions instead of decisions. But when you know yourself, choices get simpler. Not easier, simpler. You stop asking, what should I do? And start asking, what fits me? That's wisdom. So here's the summary. You are not your thoughts. Your behavior reveals you. Your emotions inform you. Observe, measure, reflect. Knowing yourself is not a one-time insight. It's a practice, and the people who practice it end up calmer, clearer, and harder to manipulate. That's a good deal. All right, that's today's notes. If this helped you, share it with someone who's confused right now. And if you want more psychology explained simply, hit subscribe, because the world doesn't need more noise. It needs more self-aware people.